Schedule 1 is a game about selling weed, so I did what any reasonable person would do and I tried to beat the entire game without selling a single gram of it.
See, in Schedule 1, you're supposed to start small, sell weed, build street cred, level up, and then move into the harder stuff, like meth. But weed? That's kid stuff. I wanted to skip the apprenticeship and jump straight into the PhD program of criminality. The problem, everything in this game, XP, reputation, missions, it's all built around selling weed. So I needed a workaround. So here's the game plan. Step 1. Farm XP through sheer nonsense. Pickpocketing nets me around 2 XP per one. Running from the cops, dead or alive, nets me around 40 XP per successful escape. Trimming plants, that nets me around 10 XP each time. Step 2. Stack cash without a product. By looting trash, gambling like a maniac, and laundering through legit fronts. Step 3. Get my rep high enough to meet the meth dealer and unlock the lab. And finally, Step 4. Build a meth empire so that Meg Cooley herself begs me for product. That was the dream, and it started with trash bags, blackjack, and a bald dude on a skateboard. This is how it started. First quest of my criminal career. Steal Uncle Nelson's dead drop like a confused Amazon delivery thief with zero morals. I wasn't touching weed, but I could still grind out XP and pretend I was living the minimalist outlaw life. I was ready to live in this tin can forever. Then I made one mistake. I answered a call from Uncle Nelson. Fuck you, Uncle Nelson. My whole life vaporized, and my entire RV was blown up. Uncle Nelson's got that kind of power. Normally, this is where most people would hit reset. Not me, no reset. I embraced it. I balled it out. Found myself a crusty motel room where the landlord gave me the stink eye, like I owed him rent from a past life. Accidentally punched him, but honestly, the motel was kind of a blessing. I couldn't pickpocket back in the RV, so now I was living the criminal dream. Redecorated with a little passive-aggressive signage. Pure aesthetic, by the way. 10 out of 10 Yelp review. Sold the signs at a pawn shop for 30 bucks. Bro got scammed. Then I spent the night pickpocketing random strangers for loose change and 2 XP per robbery. As I was busy pickpocketing, I stumbled upon something amazing. Trash. Glorious trash. Apparently, this city pays you to be a raccoon, so I lean into that hard. Next thing I know, I get sucked into a casino. No warning, just me, the slot machines, and a promise of more money than I deserve. Threw in a $10 bet, $500 right off the bat, and then a $10,000 win. That was it. I had awakened something dark inside of me. The origin story of my gambling addiction.
Uncle Nelson calls me again, not to check up on my well-being, but to tell me that I was way over the $10,000 weekly deposit limit. So after that call, I decided to buy a skateboard to head over to the real estate company. But when I arrived, it had already closed.
Basking in my sorrow, I went to bed for the night. The next morning, I hit up the real estate company and I bought a laundromat. $14,000 a week. Clean money, almost too clean. Definitely laundering more than cash.
My last mission was to make a deal, but not just any deal, a deal that involved selling weed, because we didn't have access to meth yet. So I did what any normal person would do, and I gave it to Sam Thompson for $1. Yes, I sold it for $1. Sue me, man. In this economy, you really expect me to think this isn't charity? But nah, when he turned around, I hit him in the head with a baseball bat, and I decided to throw him in the ocean. I ain't leaving no witnesses, bro.
Well, let's recap for a second. In case the chaos scrambled your brain, I started off vibing in an RV until it exploded because of Uncle Nelson. Moved into a sketchy motel, punched the landlord, became a trash panda, hit the slots, and became a laundromat mogul. No weed sold, not a gram, but I was rolling in cash. While everyone else was slinging pre-rolls to tourists, I had bigger dreams. Dreams made of meth and felony charges. Only problem? I was stuck at Street Rat level 2, and the XP grind was like trying to pass a college class on a Red Bull and fried chicken.
Okay, so I had the cash, I had the laundromat, and I even had a crusty motel bed that didn't smell completely like crime. But I needed more than just a clean place to hide. I needed status. I couldn't walk into meth territory looking like a Street Rat level 2 with my nails covered in dirt and $30 in pocket change. Step 1. Grind the hell out of XP. Step 2. Go full menace. I started pickpocketing everything with a pulse. Mailmen, joggers, and some guy who looked like he was on his way to a 90s grunge concert. I didn't care. The more people I robbed, the more XP I got. Then I trimmed some weed for XP, didn't sell it, gave those buds a spa day, tossed them on the back of the shelf like fancy houseplants. And then when that got boring, I started baiting the cops to chase me. Dead or alive? Nah, more like dead or leveled up. Day 6, I hit a wall. I was exhausted, tempted to sell weed just once, just a gram, a little sprinkle, but then RN Jesus smiled upon me again, teleported me straight into the casino, dropped a $10 bet, and bam, $50,000. I was back in business, baby. The meth grind was alive and kicking. With $50K in my pocket and the cops questioning their career choices, thanks to my gambling problem, I bought myself a proper crib, a stylish bungalow, big enough to look legit, sketchy enough to make you wonder if I was secretly running an underground fight club in the basement. But an empire doesn't run itself. First, I brought in a botanist to keep the product fresh, a handler to move it around, and a chemist to make sure nobody accidentally grows a third arm. Of course, you can't just have your crew sleeping on the floor, like it's a summer camp for criminals. So I went out and bought a bed for each of them, and turned out part of the bungalow into employee housing. Call it a very illegal Airbnb. Laundromat cash was coming in smooth, like a mobster in a tailor-made suit. But there was a problem. Uncle Sam capped me at $10,000 per week. Thanks, Uncle Sam. So I bought a post office. Yeah, nothing screams legitimate business like funneling criminal money through government property. But the real kicker, my warehouse upgrade, which I did by exploiting a glitch, because I'm not just a criminal, I'm efficient. It was finally happening. Day 11. Hoodlum 1 unlocked. The lab was up, it smelled like chemicals and ambition. I was cooking meth, and I skipped every step involving actual weed dealing, except Sam. I had made it, the weed empire that never was, still sitting on the shelf like a bad idea, but now I was cooking the good stuff, blue magic, no weed, no regrets. Okay, so I had the meth, but to move it, I needed to get chummy with the most eccentric people on the planet, the cartel's unofficial Yelp reviewers.
Tight, yeah!
First up, Meg Cooley, the human red flag. I offered her free weed to get in her good graces, and she looked at me like I had handed her a dead bird. Then came Joyce. Chill. Took the sample. No complaints. Just a good old soul. And then there was Keith. Bro looked like he was in a dramatic music commercial for depression, standing alone in the desert, like his life was a Tyler Perry movie. But right before I handed him the sample, the cop pulled up behind us. So I stood there, staring at the grass like it was my first time seeing it. Wow. Photosynthesis. Wild.
What are you doing?
Just hanging around.
Dropped him a sample. Honestly, at this point, I wasn't marketing anymore. I was just doing community service. Last up, Jerry. This guy wanted something strong. So I introduced him to Ultra Cock.
What did he say?
Ultra Cock. Yeah, it costs $1. Sue me. I consider it charity. In this economy, you better thank me personally. FDA approved? Absolutely not, but it slaps. 4 connections down. The cartel's happy. The streets are whispering about me. And meanwhile, the weed still untouched. My grind leveling up to godlike. Now that I had the respect and meth on tap, I did what any self-respecting criminal would do. Completely rebrand. Got a tattoo, a new haircut, upgraded my skateboard. I looked like Jesse Pinkman if he got into crypto and therapy. Now that everything was organized, chemist cooking meth, crew locked in, we were basically running a small business, just heavily illegal. That wasn't just a meth lab, this was a summer camp for felons. First batch, cooked, bagged, and ready to ruin lives and fund a property empire. The empire was built, Meg Cooley now begging for meth. Funny how fast they flip when the product's actually good. Name my flagship strain, Purple Thunderfuck. Plot twist, it's bright orange. Looked like Donald Trump's spray tan in powdered form. Don't ask, don't think, just sell. Expanded into new bases, hired more workers. Hell, I even bought my parents' house, with crime money. From digging through trash and getting chased by cops, to cooking meth in a remodeled bungalow, to buying the house I grew up in with crime money. I, Jesse Pinkman, beat Schedule 1 without selling a single joint. Drop a like if you're emotionally confused but spiritually fulfilled. Sub for more Curse Challenge runs, and comment what you want me to see ruin next. If you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a blessed day.